Today, I want to talk about more of a topic than a lesson, but it's the performative nature of healing versus the reality of it, right? And well, hello. First of all, welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me to you. And today is day 60. I believe today is day 60, which means we're two-thirds of the way. I could be wrong, but it should be day 60. But today's lesson, again, is like I said, I want to speak about the performative nature of healing versus the reality of it, especially because, putting yourself out there like this, it can come across two ways. You can either come across as very genuine, or you can come across as very fake and trying to appeal to people in a certain way, right? Because I do realize, and I have realized that since I have embarked on what I would call this journey, of course, naturally I feel my algorithm in my life with certain things like on social media, YouTube and things like that. It's going to steer me towards content like this. I don't know if you ever realize, but once you make content, the type of content that you make, more times than not, it influences your own feed. I don't know how. I don't know if they're checking that stuff or what, or maybe I'm just looking, maybe it's because I'm researching things for that. So of course, things like that are going to pop up. But, within that research, I was kind of find that, there's people who are genuinely in this just because they want to help people. And I would like to think of myself as one of those people. I don't want to ever really claim that, but I would like to think I'm doing this for the right reasons. But there's also people who are just doing it for money. And there's also people who are just doing it to make themselves feel better, right? And that I'm more so worried, because I'm self-aware and I'm aware of myself. But there's always more of you that even you don't know. I think there's a saying, this is the Japanese saying, where there's three faces: the one that you show people, the one that you show your loved ones, and then there's the one that you are. So yeah, the one that you show strangers, your loved ones, and then there's one that only you truly know about. But even then, I feel like you can never truly know that one, right? Because we're such complex and ever-evolving beings in life. Wow, that sounded so what's the word I'm looking for? And I can't even find the word. I can't even find what I'm looking for. Pretentious. Yeah, that sounded so pretentious to say that. Wow, I don't know why I struggle to say that. But yeah, so I don't ever truly feel like I'll fully know myself because there's so much more of myself to explore and find. But again, one of the things that I do fear the most while I'm doing this channel and doing these lessons is that there's a part of me that's performative about it, right? There's a part of me that's just doing it so that I can feel like I'm doing the work that I should be doing. There's a part of me that feels like I'm putting myself out there and looking for the gratification of other people, which, that's not always the sense. Like, yeah, I do enjoy that you guys are subscribing. I do enjoy that you guys are watching. I do enjoy that you guys are commenting, but I do know for the most part, because literally I have been doing this consistently, at least I think it was like a 3-week month mark before I even saw like some kind of growth. And even then, again, I'm only at 92 subscribers and I'm still doing this every single goddamn day, right? So yeah, those are the things that scare me. And I do look at other creators who are kind of in this space. I'm not gonna say it's a lot. There's like two I've really seen. There's one girl, her name is Bailey something, really dope girl. Love her content. There's Profound Ponderings. I've been watching him for a long time. Love his content too. There's J Bones. I kind of think he's kind of steered away a little bit. He's more so into Christian content now. But that's not the point to say that those people are fake. But it's that those are just people that I like, that I've watched, and I'm just like putting them out there to you guys. Maybe if you guys want to check them out or something. But it's like applying this to somewhere else. It is maybe I've seen people like reading. People love to, this is one of the reasons I say I don't like self-help. People like to read self-help, and it gives you this illusion that you are working on yourself, right? Of course you're working, you're reading and, ingesting and digesting the knowledge, but are you applying that knowledge, right? Are you applying the things that you're reading from? And that's where it can get into the idea that it's performative, because you go to a coffee shop, you go outside or something, and you got a book in front of you, you're reading a book. What's that one book? I read it last year. The Subtle Art's Not Giving a Fuck. Yep, got that book in front of you, but you're not applying anything that you got in that book, because people more so like to feel like they're progressing than actually progressing, right? I know that's crazy to say, but I do feel like that is true, because I was one of those people. And to some extent, I still am. People, when the work is hard, is what I should say. They like to feel like they're progressing when the work is hard than actually progress, because the more you progress into hard work, the harder that work becomes, right? I've worked on myself into the idea of pushing that to the side, right? For me, getting into this, for example, pushing myself into this, I know the work is gonna get harder. The bigger I get, the more I'm gonna have to apply certain things. I'm gonna have to learn some different things. I'm gonna have to think about different content ideas, different content strategies. And every single day I'm gonna have to think of new ideas, right? Or every single week I'm gonna have to think of new ideas, right? It's so like the more you go into something, there is the aspect that it becomes easier because you are established, but there's the aspect that it becomes harder because you are established. People don't talk about that much. The more you are into something, the more you have to do to keep it, right? So yeah, I feel like I keep saying I feel, but this is more so, again, it's from the heart than it is from up here, because this isn't really a lesson. It's from the heart more than it is from up here. Yeah, this idea that we're putting on a face, right? We're putting on a face to other people, because that's the thing. We love the gratification of other people. We'd like other people to say like, oh wow, you've really been working ever since that you lost your job, ever since that breakup. You've really been working. I've seen you, and you've really been working on yourself. You've been in the gym. You've been doing this. You've been doing that. But at the end of the day, you go home and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, okay, like, am I really working on what I need to be working on, or am I just working to look like I'm working, right? That is one of the biggest things that I fear. I fear that I'm working just to work. And I used to be that. I used to do that. I used to work just to seem like I'm working because I wanted the gratification of other people. Now I'm okay with, okay, the work that I got to get done is done. I can just chillax. I don't have to do anything, right? I feel like one of the biggest things is that when your work is done, you can rest, right? Because if you're so caught up in this work, right? Because I know there's hard work out there. I know there's work out there that takes all day, every day. There's consistent work out there. But if you're doing it all the time and you're never taking anything away from it, you're going down two avenues. You're either looking for the approval of somebody else, whether it's your boss or maybe it's a significant other or something of that nature, or you're not taking care of yourself properly, right? And one is performative, first of all, and then one is just, it's kind of sad. I really do hope you do take care of yourself. But yeah, there's that idea that you're just pushing yourself in there for it to be performative. And I feel like people who allocate their time properly, and again, this is going back to the idea of self-work, or allocate the things that they do, like they do the things they need to do, they do the work that they need to do. That work does become easier. Again, it does become easier, but it does become harder the more you go in, because there's gonna be crying. There's gonna be things you have to address that you hate about, that you may not like about yourself. I'm not gonna say hate. There's things you have to address that you may not like about yourself. There's people you might have to deal with in your life that you might want to keep them around. And I'm kind of in this position right now. There's maybe a friend that you want to keep around, but for the most part, your views are kind of pushing away from each other, right? So I do want to keep this and get to the point right now. Do the work that you need to do. Don't do it to look good. Do the work because it's the right thing to do for yourself. Don't do it because somebody else is pushing you to do it. Don't do it for somebody else's approval. Do it for your own. Don't do it to look good for everybody. Do it because at the end of the day, when you go home, you can lay your head on that pillow and you can be like, I'm satisfied with the work that I did. That is the most important thing. What I was trying to get at with that whole people who are workaholics all the time and applying that to self-work, it's like, if you're constantly working, you're never truly getting the time to enjoy that work. If you're constantly working all the time, you never get the chance to enjoy it. The same way, if you're constantly working, you never get the chance to enjoy the money that you're making. Right? So, yeah, I really hope this made sense to you guys. This really did come from my heart, because again, it's something that I've struggled with, and I feel I will continue to struggle with, because there's imposter syndrome. I feel like that is also a part of it, but you'll get through it. And yeah, as always, if you guys anything that you do, see God first, put him first, love yourself more than you love anybody else. And if there's nobody there that loves you, I love you, but there's somebody there that loves you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.